Greetings and welcome to another episode of Friendly Debates here at Words About Games, the fortnightly show where Keith and I make top 5 or top 10 lists through the art of debate and discourse and the occasional threats of stabbings. I'm your host, Amy Alexander. I'm joined by Keith Robinson.
Hello, Amy.
Hello, Keith. How are you?
I'm alright. I feel like I'm going to get threatened with a stabbing, like.
Why? What gives you that impression?
Because you've always showed off your tool.
I did show off my tool. I don't know where I've put it, though. I've put it down. I'll find it. I'll find it when I need it. It's a pair of pliers. They're here somewhere. But for real, though, like, where the fuck have I put it? Oh, that's worrying. Like, I haven't moved. Oh, well. What do I do now? Oh, yeah, I do the intro. It's Friendly Debate. So every 2 weeks, we sit down with a topic in mind and we create a top 5 or a top 10 list based around that topic. How do we do that? Well, Keith makes a list of 7, I make a list of 7, then I mash the two together into a master list. Like this. Claire. Once we've got a master list, we take it in turns to decide to nominate things that we want to cut from the list. The person nominating the thing to cut will make an argument to cut it. The person who's on the other side of this may or may not decide that they want to not cut it. And then it's up to the person originally who has just completely disappeared from view, who became an icon for a second. This is going great. This is already the second time we've had to do this. I've totally lost my train. This is why you need to write things down. Okay, this is why.
Yes, Amy. This is why you need to write things down.
This is the worst intro of all of the intros we've ever done for Friendly Debates.
We can just read it, like, take 3.
Fuck that.
Have you checked to see if it's actually recording audio this time?
Well, the bar's moving, but the bar was moving last time. See, no, this isn't a podcast, so I'm not going to get into it. Someone picks, we discuss, and then it's up to the person who picked to decide whether the arguments have swayed them into keeping it on the list or whether they're just going to cut it because they hate me. Once we've got 5 left, we get into filling out this side of the board, the final standings. I need to talk around the whiteboard for my microphone to pick me up. And then, you know, I'll explain the rules of how we do the top 5 once we get there. Also, don't take these lists too seriously, because the chances are we aren't. This week, as you could probably see, because I'm very lazily leaning on the whiteboard today, we are doing top 5 gaming worlds that we'd want to live in. Yay!
That last bit is an important caveat.
Very important caveat. Here's the list. We have 13 game worlds that we have chosen. Some of them more interesting than others. That first, we have Albion from Fable. Second, we have Azeroth from Warcraft. Third, we have Earth from Overwatch. Fourth, we have High School from Monster Prom. Then we have the Milky Way from Battletech. The Mushroom Kingdom from Mario. Pokemon World from Pokemon. Portia from My Time at Portia. Stardew Valley from Stardew Valley. Crazy. The Old Republic from Star Wars, the Theme Universe from Theme Park, etc., because we couldn't decide how many theme games there were. The Universe from No Man's Sky, and the world who I googled and couldn't find the name for from Seasons After Fall. I spent like 5 minutes trying to find out, and I was like, nah. Unnamed world. It's like when you go on iTunes. Unknown artist.
Yeah.
Keith's going to go first with a pick to kick us off. And then we'll take it in turns, and then eventually we'll end up with 5 things on this thing of things, this list of lists.
Yeah. So, with a sense of deja vu, I'm going to break with my traditional thing and pick one of my own first, which was the Unknown World or Forest from Seasons After Fall. Now, I've chosen Seasons After Fall because mostly when I went through a list of all the games that I owned on Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation, I was like, oh, this has got a really cool world. But then realized that no, would I not want to live there?
That's fair. That's fair. Like when this came
Yeah,
up, I had a similar thought of like, oh yeah, it's a really pleasant, like really relaxing sort of place. Like I could see myself living there. But then I was like, but do I want the weather dictated by a fox who needs to get across a river? And then I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want it to suddenly be winter when it was summer. Like,
yeah,
just out enjoying the day, and then like nice stroll through the forest, across a beach, and
yeah,
then suddenly it's a blizzard.
yeah,
I'm not dressed for this. That's for
yeah.
sure.
So, for those of you who don't know, you play as a spirit slash
Aha.
maybe an actual fox, or just a spirit possessing a fox. In seasons after four, and you go running around the woodland. And over the course of the game, you gain the ability to switch the seasons back and forth. So spring's like a rainy season. Autumn, I think, was kind of default. Summer is like really like lower water levels and stuff. Winter, all the water freezes and stuff. So there's some other effects, but it's a wonderful like sort of like platformy like fun game and everything. But yeah, yeah, I can understand. Yeah, maybe not having the entire like ecology of the world dictated by a fox who never speaks.
Single fox. I mean, they probably do a better job than people. Am I right?
I know. I don't think anyone could like denounce global warming if every few minutes the weather kept changing. Been summer for 14 years. People, global warming must exist.
Yeah, just out the window in the background, there's just this fox like swimming across a now full river.
Yeah.
See what I mean? The fox is a menace. J. Jonah Jameson, newspaper editor.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I know we've done part of this before, but
Yeah.
I ain't fucking got a clue what I picked when or what arguments I had, except one, because I did research for one of them.
Yeah. You did.
Because like, there's one
The
game,
surprise I had will no longer be on my face.
the one game I had on this list, I haven't played. Like I've played everything else, and I've existed in those worlds except Pokemon, which was one of my picks. But was Battletech, because I've never played Battletech. I've seen you play Battletech, and what I know of Battletech is there are mechs
Yeah.
and there's lots of fighting.
Yeah.
And then when I was like writing all the stuff down, I've got the master lists, fusing together. I was like, I should probably like research this game, like as a diligent gaming YouTuber, part of the 1% who are diligent. Don't mean to throw shade at every other YouTuber on YouTube.
Yeah, I was just imagining you as part of the 1% there for a second.
Could you imagine? That'd be amazing. I'd have a monocle,
Go play at Xbox.
a pipe. No, the gold would get really hot, right? Why's my Xbox melting? Ah, shit. I'm just
Yeah, it was either that or PlayStation. I know one of them did it.
The PlayStation didn't need to be gold plated in the testing phase. But anyway, yeah. So I was like, I want to research BattleTech because I feel like I couldn't come into this list and be like, I want to cut BattleTech, and then you're like, why? And then I'm like, cause. Like, generally we have to bring slightly stronger arguments than because, unless we're cutting our own stuff. In which case, you'd probably just go, yeah, cause. And then you'd be like, well, whatever, I don't want it on the list anyway.
Unless the other person jumps in and defends that game for some bizarre reason.
I don't think that's ever happened before.
Not yet.
It will. I'm sure it will. You'll pick something that I'll have forgotten about, and then you'll try to cut it, and I'll be like, no, damn it. And then we will event a bizarre world. But anyway, so I did some research on Battletech, and I read a bunch of stuff. And I got a couple of quotes as to like, that I feel are relevant to top 5 gaming worlds we'd want to live in.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to read. I should have picked 2 different quotes, but who's got the time? The first one is cultural, political, and social conventions vary considerably between worlds. That seems fair. But feudalism is widespread, with many states ruled by hereditary lords and other nobility, below which are numerous social classes. It's like every comma. I paused at every comma in there. And like after every comma, it's like, okay, okay, okay. Oh
Yeah.
no.
It's like every single like world has at least the equivalent of a House of Lords.
I mean, who the fuck would want to live in that world? Oh
The
wait,
House of Lords were useful before.
yeah, I suppose. I suppose, but I mean, the government's occasionally useful. Occasionally doesn't mean I have any faith in
Yeah,
them.
I'm not making an argument for feudalism here. I mean, most planets have like equivalent cost of living it because it was made by like Germans and Americans, the Battletech universe, back at the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s. So when you read some of the books, well, I haven't read all the books because there's like 80 odd in the original run, and they started producing more.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's like that. You look at some of the stuff, and it's like, wait, why is this referencing disc cassette as memory storage devices? And then, CD-ROMs must have been invented by this point. Because another one mentioned a CD-ROM.
Yeah.
It's basically like most of it's just like the 80s version or early 90s version of what the future would be. But feudalism got thrown into it to make like the politics easier, I guess. But there's in-world like reasons why the feudalism is so widespread. And for the most part, most of the government, it's fine for the average person, which I was kind of thinking, because we didn't specify if we would be the protagonists in these things, or if we'd just be random Joes living. If you were going to be a games reviewer in like 30, 3125, which I believe is the canon timeline now, if you're just going to be sitting there reviewing games with your like holographic headset and everything, or if we were going to actually like, be protagonists, because yeah, maybe if we had to be the protagonists now sitting in an armored cockpit, which is basically a sauna, 30 meters off the ground, firing like Gauss rifle rounds and lasers at people. Yeah, maybe not the best place to live.
Wouldn't that be
But we could
worse?
survive. Yeah, it's like that would be worse. But if we were just like average Joe, I could just like sit there, like waiting for space, like waiting for like messages from another planet or whatever. Going, okay, now I've got to deliver all these like messages to people's email accounts. Or hey, yeah, I'm working in a shopping mall.
If you think you could be a protagonist in any of these worlds, you state your case.
Oh, I think I could be a protagonist in like a couple of these worlds. I might not want to be.
Accidentally, sort of,
Yeah.
be a protagonist. I had another quote, which was about it starts with the words incessant warfare. And that's when I was like, no.
Yeah, they had the 4 succession wars, which took the better part of a century and killed off most of the technology. And this isn't like an entire galaxy we're talking about. So yeah, not a great time to be alive, but
Not a great place to live.
well, it's a past. It's like us saying we'll go back for a plague tale.
I mean, I don't want to live in a plague's tale.
No, we don't, which is why it doesn't appear on either of our lists. And yet, other versions of Earth appear on these lists.
Other versions of Earth do appear on these lists.
Yeah.
These lists.
Yeah. So I'm fine with Battletech getting cut off because there's a lot of caveats to Battletech. It's like I don't want to work for the like space telecommunications company, which is a religious cult. I don't want to be in the Cabelic Confederation because it's basically the Ming Dynasty rolled in with communism. And the neo samurai culture from Drunker's Combine would be kind of cool because everyone would be forced to be polite because it's basically just Japan, but it's massive, like interstellar state, like hundreds of worlds of just people being Japanese, no matter their ethnicity.
Yeah.
But then you've also got the people have to commit seppuku when they make mistakes, so it's kind of like.
I mean, but isn't that just like saying I'd love to live in the world of Resident Evil as long as I ain't live in Raccoon City. Like,
Yeah, like I would love the Resident Evil universe, just not in Raccoon City or in anywhere near the mansion. Yeah, so I'm fine with Battletech getting cut. So two of mine have disappeared so far.
I mean, you did it yourself in the first round.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. Like, just because in the very first episode of Friendly Debates, I did what you did.
yeah.
I mean, I might do myself later on, but
Raising.
we'll see. It's your turn.
Yes, it is. And I'm just looking at the list of things you put before me. So I go with the... No, I'll build up to the insanity. So the first one I want to put in is the universe.
I mean, the whole universe or a specific?
Well, it's the No Man's Sky universe because it's kind of lonely. I mean, we haven't specified whether this is the launch one, at launch, when you couldn't talk to anyone. You couldn't meet anyone. Or if it's the new one where it's like you're just kind of like flying around looking for rocks, which like work like these special things on each planet, which give you one letter of an alien language that you can speak. It has how many languages? Like 6.
I don't know. You think I'd get?
Yeah.
You think I'd play a bunch of No Man's Sky?
Yeah, it takes like 50 years just to learn a language to find out the aliens that do speak it don't want to talk to you because they're incredibly xenophobic. You never meet another human unless incredibly esoteric things like. It's a big thing to get everyone to meet up together.
You need to start getting cons.
Yeah. Xenomorphs apparently exist in this universe.
All right, yeah, all right. I'll grant you that happened on that one live stream I was doing. But just to be clear, if I was a space explorer in No Man's Sky, like as me as a person and not as a video game protagonist, and I see all these weird looking eggs on the ground.
Yeah.
Next to an abandoned, clearly attacked building.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna run down there and go, ooh, what do these do? Boop.
I'm gonna stick my face in it for science.
I'm gonna try and pick them up. Oh God! I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll go somewhere else and look for my oxygen.
Yeah, because that's another thing. You're gonna spend like 90% of your time when you're exploring looking for materials to make sure you don't die immediately.
I mean, it's not. I mean, if exploration was safe, everybody would do it, right?
So you want to spend the rest of your life alone doing unsafe exploration?
over my current life, yeah, definitely. 100% less transphobia.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is going to beam the messages out?
They probably would.
Yeah.
It's a nice, pretty universe full of wonder and mystery and cool stuff to see. And, you know, yeah, it's really you can't understand the aliens, but I feel like that just leads to, like, you know, those cute buddy cop movies that we see.
What, Amy and the Xenomorph?
Not the you focusing on the right. The Xenomorph was like, I streamed that game for like 20 hours last year, and the Xenomorph was about 10 minutes of my experience. The rest of the time I was building a farm.
It's like, I just want to quote like Bones from Star Trek. Faces disease and death wrapped in hopelessness and darkness.
Nah, it was a farm with a Stargate next to it for me. I found a nice planet. I settled it. I named it after Tark because he was in my chat and I said I would. Yeah. It was nice. It was nice, apart from the Xenomorphs. And that time I stole something from another planet and got chased by the Sentinels, which was my fault.
And crashed into the spaceship, yeah.
I stole stuff. I almost crashed into the space station. I pulled up. It was fine. Just cool flying through some asteroids. And met a bunch of weird animals, and it was fun. I mean, I'll take it off the list because I feel like I'm not winning you over. But like, it's the yeah, like, I mean,
it was all fun and games until the Xenomorphs turned up.
Would you like to explore space and get away from people? Have you watched any of these podcasts? People.
I just prefer my like space exploration to be through a handy like 5 meter wide gate. With three of my best
Oh
friends.
yeah, because that was safe.
You built one on your farm.
I mean, that was like that only led to the space station in orbit, and so I could get back. It led to all the space stations, I guess. I didn't have to fly back. It's fast travel. Or like stepping
Oh,
through a Stargate and then alien snake parasite thing flying into my neck and then using my body for evil. And that was one of the better case scenarios.
tangent.
You brought up Stargate. They carried machine guns for a reason. What do I want to do next? Let's have a look. Let's refresh everybody's memory on what's actually here. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. I didn't just do that to make sure that the bar was moving while I was looking over there. So here's what's left on the list. We've got Albion from Fable, Azeroth from Warcraft. No, well, it is from World of Warcraft, but it's from Warcraft overall. Earth from Overwatch, High School from... I almost said High School Musical. High School from Monster Prom, The Mushroom Kingdom from Mario, Pokemon World from Pokemon, Portia from My Time on Portia, Stardew Valley from Stardew Valley, The Old Republic from Star Wars, and Theme Universe from games. I feel like doing the Simpsons bit. You might remember me from games such as Theme Park and Theme Hospital. What the fuck do I want to cut next? Let's go with the Theme Universe.
Theme universe.
Theme Universe.
It's
Because
a game aimed at like really low ages, and it's what possible problem could you have with the theme universe?
what possible problem? Because the Theme Universe is overseen by an unknowing,
God.
unseen person, shall we say, gamer, maybe we could say, but not with a capital G like the ones I take them, just generally. And like, I don't know, I've played enough of these games and been a bitch enough times to know that I don't want to live in a world ruled over by someone like me who has godly
So vote
powers.
T. Benevolent oath.
I don't want you having control. Like, okay, let's break down
I
the
don't-
theme games.
Yeah.
Theme park. Like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. The theme park is amazing. The fries are way too salty. I'm spending too much money just having to, like, I've just eaten a single solitary fry and now I have to spend $30 on water.
Yeah.
Because it's like when you in a cartoon when you eat lemon and my entire face has just collapsed in on itself from the salt. Because don't think I don't know what your game is with those fries. The park is a confusing mess. It's almost like someone started out with like 3 or 4 rides and then didn't really put any thought into forward planning for like expansion. So it's like I'm trying to find my way to this really cool looking space shuttle ride.
Yeah.
But I've spent the last 3 hours and I keep walking past this weird treehouse. Also, I'm not sure what the treehouse does. Why it's a ride, but that's beside the point. And then I'll walk in and I'll be like, oh, there's this roller coaster. This looks cool. Except the dumbass who built the roller coaster knows nothing about building roller coasters. And about halfway around, it goes so fast, everybody gets ejected from it. That would be my then. And then we've got theme. Did we decide there was an animal one?
There is a theme zoo.
Theme
It's
zoo.
not. It's not as it wasn't as popular as the roller coaster and Theme Hospital.
I mean, I really need to say more. Like, I'm sure there's lions and elephants and cheetahs and penguins. Penguins aren't as innocent as they would let you believe.
But if you wear full evening dress, they will leave you alone.
When do I ever wear full evening dress? I'm wearing a freaking Persona t-shirt. And yeah, it's like as soon as they get out, rampage across the city, I'll get eaten by an elephant. And then there's Theme Hospital. Where one day, I'll just wake up and my head will be like 3 times its normal size. Oh well, time to go to the hospital to get my head popped.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of 2.0s at the moment, which is why it appears on this list. But yeah, some of the illnesses on there are kind of like, okay, my head's been replaced by a light bulb, but it's okay because they can unscrew it and replace a head, maybe a slightly better looking one.
With a different head.
Yeah, and then it's like, what other illnesses are premature mummification? I have many questions knowing how you mummify somebody. If this has been really premature, how is that person still walking around? And are we just bringing back the dead to life? Because that's kind of.
I mean, yeah. I'm trying not to think of 2 Point Hospital. Like think of theme and like bloated head and the squits are the only ones I can really remember.
There's an invisibility one.
Oh yeah, there's one where you just randomly turn invisible, and it's like I don't know if the NHS would cover stuff like that.
Not in the future.
It's like
The insurance. Sorry, I'm sure your insurance doesn't cover invisibility. Are you still here? I don't know if you've walked out or not in this.
Oh, patient has left the room. No, I haven't. I'm right here. I guess they didn't want treatment after all. Hey, stop that, doctor. But yeah, I feel like I feel like any version of this universe would just be like, it's a fun idea.
It's fun, but horrifying when you think of the implications.
Indeed. So I'm allowed, so I get to say it's gone. Goodbye.
Speaking.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 left. I forgot how to count for a minute there.
Speaking of seemingly fun but horrifying when you think of the implications, the Mushroom Kingdom.
What about it?
Now, we've touched on some of the weird conspiracies regarding the Mushroom Kingdom before on our podcast. I don't think we've done it in friendly debates before.
I don't think the Mushroom Kingdom is. I'd be surprised if I don't think Mario's ever really come up in the friendly debates before.
Yeah.
We need to do something about
that. In the Mushroom Kingdom, it's like a kingdom run by mushroom people, bordered by some like reptilian creatures with shells on their back, which aren't quite turtles. Who keep invading, kidnapping the royalty in an attempt to prevent all-out war. I guess these royalty members need to be saved by 2 Italian plumbers, who are the only humans we see apart from the princess. Because although the king of the Mushroom Kingdom is a mushroom, his daughter is a human woman.
Crown.
Now, yeah, it maybe he's adopted. That's cool. But why is the sole defense of the Mushroom Kingdom put in the hands of 2 Italian plumbers?
Maybe mushroom people can't jump.
I don't know. Here's a question: if we go to the Mushroom Kingdom, do we have to suddenly act as its armed forces because we're human?
Oh no.
Do you automatically become a princess because you're female and no non-female, every female in the Mushroom Kingdom is a princess?
I mean, I'm already
There's no other women.
I'm already a princess.
Does that mean that while you're getting kidnapped every 5 minutes by a giant lizard creature who can't breathe fire, I have to go and rescue you?
Oof. I don't know if I would like. I
don't know anything about pipes.
I'm fine with getting kidnapped every 5 minutes. I don't know if I would trust you to rescue me. Damn it! This is the 16th time this month. You're on your own this time.
Yeah. It's like, damn it, where is he? And I'm like, seriously, don't say another castle. Just tell me which castle.
I feel like you would murder things. Like you would literally just be like, "Oh, your princess is in another castle."
Yeah, instead of jumping on people's heads, I would have probably invented some sort of gun.
I'll be honest.
Thing. And assuming this isn't what's going to happen. Okay, I know you like tubes. I know you like the tube technology. Do you have any idea how much jumping the 2 of us would have to do?
I mean,
you'd also force us to play tennis.
If I was getting kidnapped, I wouldn't really have to do all that much jumping.
Yeah,
but if I was a princess being kidnapped by Bowser, I wouldn't need no man to come and save me. I just do it myself. Have you seen Bowser?
occasionally, especially when the axe is stored right behind him, he turns around.
I mean,
But you know,
it's all a play. It's all Mushroom Kingdom's work of fiction. Like genealogy aside, which I'll grant you is weird. Like the the main Mario things of like Princess Peach is being kidnapped again. Like that's just lazy writing for their players. It's like, well,
Mhm.
maybe mix it up a bit. What if Mario was kidnapped next time? Something like that. The fun thing about living in the Mushroom Kingdom is like you get to watch these shitty players. Admittedly, like they're fun games to play, but if you were just sitting there watching, you'd be like, "Oh, this goes on for another 3 hours."
he's
Okay.
just gone into another castle, which is the wrong castle.
Oh, I wonder if the princess is in this castle. No, God, I didn't see that coming. But then you get like kart racing and the tennis tournaments and
I'll
all the
grant you,
exhibitions.
I'll grant you the go kart racing is cool. I'm not so interested in the tennis. They do have some really weird party games over there.
Yeah, man. Like, if you go for a picnic, they don't just sit around and eating sandwiches.
No,
They're like paddling up rivers and I don't know what other Mario Party. Like their board games are fucking lit, man. Like put our board games to shame.
mm,
Like fucking boulders chase you in their board games. We just sit around rolling dice, trying to figure out who's going to be the betrayer.
betrayal.
Um, yeah, no, that's all I had. Look it up. The theory about it's not a theory. It was confounded. Mario Brothers 3 was a play. There was like a stage and curtains and
Yeah,
it was a whole thing.
thought you were going to go on about the whole like diatribe that Greg and
I'm not here to talk about the lineage of
yeah,
Princess Peach,
yeah,
the parentage
the
of
rest of
Princess
the book.
Peach. I gave up on that a long time ago.
Yeah,
Look, right, she's a mushroom. She wears a crown. The crown turns her into a princess woman.
yeah,
Again, shitty writing.
yeah. That's right. And yet we can't have Bowser. I mean,
Don't even get me started on not having Bowser. Fucking nonsense that we can't have Bowser. Do it, you cowards. They won't do it. Okay, so that leaves us down to 8. Keith?
correct. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, good. I'm glad I got that correct. Um, explain Overwatch to me. Not don't explain.
Overwatch.
Don't explain the game.
Okay.
Like,
The world of Overwatch is us in the future, in which uh, apparently our world has advanced somewhat, and we've got lots of. We invented robots that really worked, and the software got became really advanced, and we refer to it as Omnics. I'm not entirely sure why. Um, there was a small war,
there's always
which may or may not be ongoing between Omnics and humans. Most places, it's pretty all right. London is apparently still quite racist towards. Sorry, the UK is apparently still quite racist towards machines.
shock
Don't you
horror.
think? Yeah. Um. So that's the thing.
I mean, the people in my fucking town, our town,
Yeah.
can't even fucking figure out how to work those automated checkouts at Sainsbury's. Never mind an entirely new
Not
species of robot.
yeah, not as bad as Australia, where they may not nuked a robot town. Um, trying to remember the law here, and yeah, there's another thing where Korea, and I'm guessing this is some sort of Godzilla homage, but there is a giant Omnics like facility off the coast of Korea which keeps attacking Korea. It keeps sending stuff out in the oceans, including giant robots.
Okay.
Yeah, so not a great place to live if like you're living in the outback of Australia where there's like a radioactive zone, but people live there
Or the
because
UK.
Junkrat and Roadhog do.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
they're fantastic role
yeah,
models.
because Junkrat Town is apparently a great place if you want to be like like if you want to reject society and live the anarchist sort of life, then you go to Junkertown in Australia. So if you love anarchy, that's a plus for you. Um, but they have so many like wonderful, nice like cities and like beautiful, like clean sort of like energy, like hover cars. Where's our hover cars, Amy? We were promised them in the 1960s before we were born,
Look,
and
right.
they have them in Overwatch.
We just got past people eating Tide Pods on YouTube. Okay, we're not getting hover cars anytime soon.
Oh, I can't believe you referenced Tide Pods. Fair enough. You got like hard light technology, which is something the games
No,
industry is like
no.
invented.
I will say this to you: no
Yeah,
matter how long I live, no matter what
yeah.
technological advances there are, if I have to
Yeah.
get from one side to the other side across a bridge made of light, there's no way. There is no way you will make me walk across a bridge made of fucking light. Not
Well,
happening.
in Overwatch, hard light technology is stuff like creating small sentry turrets or chairs out of light.
All right, well, I'm not sitting on those chairs.
Yeah. Also,
Um,
teleporters, but yeah, they work in kind of line of sight things, so you can teleport like a really long distance, but you'd have to see it.
I'm still not. I don't know. The philosophical debate of who comes out the other side of a teleporter is still a bit
Yeah.
to
I
me
feel better
personally.
with I feel better with portals as opposed to teleporters.
Yeah,
Even though Symmetra's like portal is called a teleporter, it is a portal. So yeah, that's better. And don't get me started on how traces you. But yeah, it seems to be a sort of like wonderful sort of like nice futuristic city. Like it's still got many of the same problems that we have, but racism appears to be shoved firmly on robots now that humanity has something else to hate.
I mean, racism is shit no matter what.
Yeah.
Robots are people too, at least in Overwatch. And occasionally they heal you or make
Yeah.
barriers, shoot
With
with their
karma.
Gatling gun. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, my solid like rebuttal to Overwatch is a thing. It's like, I mean, I spent 200 hours in that game and done nothing but shoot people, or stab people, or blow them up,
Yeah.
or I've never really anything else. Set them on fire, hit them with a hammer,
Shot them with
splatter them.
nanodots infused with liquid death.
Yeah, but those were my allies. Heal, heal. We did the healing thing in a previous video
Yeah.
about Anna's gun, but like I don't know, like maybe it's just because like so I don't. I've read a couple of the comics. I've watched some of the short films like The Last
Yeah.
Bastion.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes it more cool.
and like, but when I'm setting up like for a stream of Overwatch, which I've done plenty of times, while I'm like getting OBS ready and doing this and doing that, I leave the intro running. Like,
Yeah.
Winston sits down and he goes, "Is this thing on?" Like, and then he's
Yeah.
like straightening the camera. So it's really funny. And then to the end, where he's like, he gives up trying to like read his thing. And then he's like, "Look at this shit." And then he's like, everything's on fire.
Terrorist
Like,
bombings, like
Earth
and the
is
armored marches and stuff. Okay.
Earth sucks. We need Overwatch. I'm not convinced. Like, I don't know how Overwatch is saving the world. Like,
Yeah.
but
It,
that's an
it
entirely different conversation.
most of it seems to be pushing something from one end of the street to another.
We captured the tower in the command, like the friggin' market in
Yeah.
Lijiang. Fantastic. What the fuck was the point in that? Like, okay, now our team can buy apples.
Yeah.
And for a night market, it seems awfully closed.
To
Um,
be honest, everywhere seems closed when Overwatch turns up. I
but
wonder why.
yeah, it was mostly just the Winston's monologue of everything sucks. Look at these. Look at
Yeah.
this. And then he's like, reactivate Overwatch, and we've not seen a single drop of story since that moment. Thanks, Blizzard. I
Yeah, it's not a story centric thing.
wish it was. I wish it
Yeah.
was, but it's not. Dan,
Okay.
it's up to you. Star
Yeah.
or
We can
strike?
cut it.
Ooh, there we go. I've just thought of the catchphrase: star or strike, because you put a star next to it, or you strike it out. Look, like the show's a work in progress.
All
Pick
right then.
something. We've got one,
So
two,
that's,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to cut 2 more things.
yeah, yeah, and I've got an idea for one of them. It's called Albion, and it's not the it's not the place mythical, the like British and French folklore. It's a world of fable.
It is the world of Fable.
Now, I've played a little bit of Fable, and it's basically the Victorian era. Yeah. Except that the magic exists. However, most of what magic appears to get used for is making giant doors. You have to like do some sort of physical emoji to gain access through.
Laugh.
Yeah. My commute to work might be slightly more difficult if all of the cycle tracks in our town had one of these doors every like 100 meters or so.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Be more interesting though.
Yeah. I grant you that. I also don't like the abuse of orphans because it's a Victorian era like world.
Well, I mean, is any world really perfect? Yes,
No,
yes, they
no,
are.
I'll grant you that.
But and I'm like looking at the ones left, like, yeah, a couple of them.
Yeah, like okay, yeah, that. But then there's the other things like, oh yeah, landlords are a bit of a bitch. Like massively stacking up the rent so that they can do something with all that money, which according to Fable 2 is buying troops to fight off an unkillable army of. Oh, sorry, the third one. It's an unkillable shadow army swarm thing, which is going to obliterate everyone.
In Fable 2, I was jacking up the prices of the rent because I wanted to buy prostitutes. Not sure that's better.
No, that's worse.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, the Black Mass. Look, I'm gonna let you know a little secret here. Fantasy worlds suck. Like all of like, no, don't get me wrong. There are some amazing fantasy worlds in video games. I made a big list of them when I was like, I really should put a fantasy game on here because fantasy worlds are great, right? And then you sit down and you think, gaming worlds I'd want to live in. And you make a list. And you're like, what are some of my favourite fantasy games? Da, 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 da. And then you go through that list. And then you start looking at it. You're really looking at it. And you're like, okay, Dragon Age. The Blight. No.
The Blight, yeah. The Dark one.
Yeah, there's also like Mass Effect.
Rebirth?
Nice world, but, Reapers. No. Star Wars. Death Star. Yeah. But you go through like all of these fantasy worlds. And they're fucking terrible. If you were just a person living in any one of these worlds,
yeah,
terrible, awful. So I don't know. I put Albion on the list. I was like, it's not going to make it to the top 5. It wasn't, but it's. I mean, apart from the black encroaching black mass and the flip flop nature of the morality of your ruler in Fable 3, like it can be kind of charming. A bit, like, yeah.
I kind of got fed up partway through the game.
There are probably like 20 or 30 different worlds I could have put on here that would be much better to live in than Albion. The fucking alien universe would have been better to live in than Albion. But I mean, what's the odds of getting killed by a xenomorph? Like, don't go to that one planet. You'll be fine. Why does everyone keep going back there, Keith? But yeah, like it's like I don't get people who sit there and like, because we've got in this country, not far from where we live, we've got this open air museum, and it's this huge place where you can practically step back in time. It's called Beamish, and you wander around and you visit. It's like visiting Victorian England, right?
Yeah,
and it's quite nice to wander around and see all this stuff and how people lived. Less nice to do things like go and have a look at the mines, listen to the stories of how people actually used to live. But there's people that go there and then they come out and they're like, ooh, to live in such a simpler time, wouldn't it be nice? No. No, it would not. I feel like sometimes people get the blinders on with like fantasy games where it's like, oh, it'd be so cool to live in this fantasy world and have magic and do this. You realize like poverty and racism, like the chances are you die in the streets unless you're very fortunate. Even the friggin' royalty dies in the streets. There's a whole cinematic where you for Fable 3, like that came out before the game, where you're rooting for this chicken who's running through the friggin' the castle, and it's awesome. It's like a friggin' Pixar thing. And then at the end, he gets fucking killed and eaten. That's fantasy. So I guess I put Fable in as a takedown on the entire fantasy genre in terms of worlds we want to live in.
Yeah.
Oops. Like, in any fantasy world, you wouldn't be able to get from one town to the other without getting attacked by like 20 monsters. So wherever you're born, that's where you live. So yes, I'll cross that off the list. 100%. We've got 6 left. I'm not going to hold up the board. Azeroth, High School, Pokemon World, Portia, Stardew Valley, and the Old Republic. Keith, I don't necessarily think that this is the 6th best world.
Yeah.
For us to want to live in.
Yeah.
Out of these 6. But I'm going to pick it to cut it because it's more or less the same as another one.
Right.
But in 3D. And that's Portia from my time at Portia.
Okay.
I fucking love Portia, right? Like, it's an amazing place. Like, if I could live there, I would be happy for the rest of my days. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably, I don't know, maybe I'd open a bakery. I could open a bakery. Like, I wouldn't go mining or anything like that. Like, I picked Portia specifically because it's the relaxing place. Like, it's a nice, tight-knit community. Everyone's good to each other. You know, you live there, it's calming, it's relaxing, the people are really friendly. You know, every now and again they have these awesome events. Like, they go chasing. Like, shit you not, literally, everybody makes something, right, for this one holiday. And then they give it to the city hall, town hall, whatever. And then the town hall gets all of these presents, wraps them up, puts them in a blimp. And then the blimp flies around over Portia and drops them. And then everybody gets to chase after the blimp and grab their stuff. I mean, there's a threat of injury there for sure. But
Yeah.
because of the type of game it is, it's like, no one's going to get hurt, right? It's fine. It's nice.
Yeah.
The only reason I would pick... Because Stardew Valley 3D, right? Like, if I was going to live in one of those two worlds, I'd live in... In Stardew Valley, there are monsters. The monsters are in the mines. You don't have to fight the monsters unless you go deep into the mines. In Portia, there are areas of the world where there are monsters that will attack you, and you can't go there. So it's slightly more dangerous. And also, the animals that are out there are incredibly adorable. But I know for a fact that bitch that just opened the farm kills them to make things.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's amazing. It would definitely easily make my top 5. But for the sake of having a variety of different things in our top 5, and for the sake of compromise, I'm checking it off.
Cool.
Because I know you're not going to fight me on it. Because I don't think you've ever played My Time at Portia.
No, I haven't. I've seen it played.
It's fantastic. Here are the last 5. I can't believe one of these ended up in the top 5. The top 5. Ow. Chill. The last 5. Azeroth from Warcraft. High School from Monster Prom. Pokemon World from Pokemon. Stardew Valley from Stardew Valley. And the Old Republic from Star Wars. Azeroth, eh? So here's how it goes. we stop taking turns now. We're doing the top 5. What we do is one of us will decide we want to nominate a game for 5th, and then 4th, and then 3rd, and then 2nd, and then 1st. The other person can either agree with that and add to it, or they can disagree. If you disagree in this round, however, you have to offer up an alternative. And then we decide which of the two goes in that slot. And somebody usually gets threatened. I found them. So, any ideas?
Well, I know there's one that you want to put at number 5, so I'm going to let you pick.
Oh, you mean Azeroth?
Yeah.
From Warcraft.
Yeah.
Well, let me just do that again. I don't know if I was too subtle with how I was emphasizing that word. Warcraft.
Yeah. I actually thought this was going to be the last one you could, because you went on for like so long about how, if you're in a fantasy world, you don't move towns because you die trying to get to the next town because there's like 20 months in between it, and then you miss the perfect segue to choose Warcraft, and I'm like, okay.
I mean, I had to explain the rules of the top 5.
Yeah.
So there was no segue from one to the other.
Oh, no, I mean, like, that you chose Portia instead of choosing Warcraft.
I mean, I can undo it if you want, and we
can try and that's fine.
We can try and debate the minor differences in like living standards between two games that are essentially the same freaking game. There's nothing wrong with that. I love both games, but
yeah, I mean,
I throw him a bone. I'm not even talking to him anymore. I throw him a bone, and this is how he like. I felt bad because last week he tried to cut Nier Automata, and I threatened to stab him. So I threw him a bone, and this is how he reacts. This is what I'm dealing with. You threaten to stab someone once.
Yeah, no, I love. I mean, when I put this forward, I did make the proviso that it was before the latest expansion because,
but not before the Cataclysm.
See, one of the things I really liked about like Warcraft was the Night Elves. And one of the things I really loved about World of Warcraft was the Night Elf starting zone, which is one of the most beautiful zones that you can start off with. The initial thing is a giant tree which you're living in, which includes the city. Then you've got these like Darkshore in Ashenvale and Stone Talon Peaks after the Cataclysm looks really nice, where before there was nothing there.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. Like, I was going to let you talk, but like, after the Cataclysm, it looks really nice. I'm sorry, could you imagine living in this world, standing there, being like, oh yeah, like, the fucking, everybody in Thousand Needles drowned, and like, a bunch of people in the Barrens got swallowed up into this massive canyon, but Stone Talon Peaks looks really nice now.
Yeah.
Chernobyl's really peaceful ever since the nuclear reactor meltdown.
Yeah, no, it's one of the strange things where it's like, well, the Cataclysm all bad. I mean, I think you skipped the 100-foot tidal wave.
Oh god, I've made a horrible mistake.
That wiped out Booty Bay.
I should never have let this go.
Yeah, no. My thing was for like Warcraft, just like it had like beautiful like zones that you could like go around and look around. My only proviso was that it wasn't after the latest expansion.
Because that was just one disaster too far, right?
Yeah. Well, mostly as I said, previous to that, like I wasn't going to specify between this expansion and this expansion, and I kind of forgot about the Cataclysm, to be honest. Because in the latest expansion, they decided to destroy the Night Elf starter zone along with 90% of the Night Elf species, most of it being their civilian population. So all of the beautiful like start area and stuff, like the places where you normally go questing as them and have all these beautiful structures and the talking trees and stuff, that's gone. But I really liked those areas, and I liked the idea that I could go around, and there was so much magic in that world. It's just like, all right, yeah, so like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a tailor. Oh, that's cool. I'm just popping out from them, keep an eye on the store, and they just unroll their magic carpet that they've made and fly down to the shops. Or you can get quite high level in that game without actually any violence, because people have done it. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go out there and get some herbs. I'll brew some potions for people. I'll just become an alchemist. I would hopefully be a druid alchemist because I really like druids and I loved that Night Elf Start Zone and stuff. And I would just have been happy pottering around, like being a herbalist, you know, druid in that world. Not my time in Portia-esque of World of Warcraft, but it was such a
Oh
beautiful
shit!
world.
Forsaken!
Your character could like pays me a visit.
Look, all I'm saying is, we wandered around a lot of Alliance lands, killing people, killing folk. We invaded,
Stormwind,
yeah,
Ironforge.
Stormwind. 80 of us. You never saw it coming. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, it was until you uttered the words, the Cataclysm wasn't all bad, and I went brain dead.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't ask me how like 100-foot tidal wave, which like swamps a thousand needles and like lays waste the booty bay and stuff, somehow made them like go, oh wait, we forgot to put anything in the like Stone Talon Mountains really, and actually they did make some nice quest lights and stuff in that area. Don't ask me how that happened. Don't ask me how the Ark got upgraded then. But yeah.
I mean, I regret letting this through, but
Yeah.
it's not going any higher. Like,
No. That's what I said. I thought this would be your pick 5 because it's not going any high.
the Cataclysm wasn't all that bad. Fucking hell. I mean, I know I've come up with some shit. Some crazy shit on these fucking debates, but okay. Okay, so we've got High School, Pokemon World, Stardew Valley, and the Old Republic. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do exactly what I just did again, and I'm gonna suggest that at number 4 we should probably put the Old Republic from Star Wars. I mean, don't get me wrong, you specified the Old Republic, which was a massive point in your favor, because there's no Death Star.
No, there's no Death Star.
It's still not the greatest sci-fi, is it? Well, oh, fucking hell, it's not a terrible place to live. It could be. It could totally be. Like in the right set of circumstances, almost any of these places could be terrible places to live. But yeah, I think slightly above Azeroth, the place that had the Cataclysm that wasn't too bad. We could probably put the Old Republic. I mean, yeah, sure, there's Sith and like, probably some Wars along the line somewhere, evil Jedis and whatnot, but there are a lot more good Jedis.
Yeah.
And the chances of getting lightsabered by an evil Jedi are pretty slim.
Yeah. I object to this on one basic ground. So I'm going to put a Pokemon as number 4.
What the fuck? Okay. I'm very interested to hear the reasoning behind this.
So what is your experience with Pokemon? Have you just played Pokemon Go and that's it?
How dare you? I've played Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium. Barely played Pokemon Go. As soon as I realized it was like, look, AR might one day be amazing.
Yeah.
Today is not that day.
Right.
I turn the AR off.
I don't have a great experience with Pokemon Go. I haven't played any of the games. I've seen the film, and I've seen. I watch a drone channel where they occasionally. Amy's running away because she just doesn't believe in this. I mean, wow. So, I watched this channel, and they've often gone through actually a couple of channels that I've watched. I've pointed out some certain facts about Pokemon, which is there are a lot of Pokemon which are the souls of dead children. Captured. There's quite a few Pokemon which are the souls of dead children captured and eaten, and there's quite a few Pokemon who just eat the souls of dead, just eat children. Like they just capture and eat children. So less cute, more terrifying for the things that are going on. Then we'll get to the other things. The entire society in all Pokemon games is perfectly fine getting these somewhat sentient beings to fight each other, like in gladiatorial combat, parents in this world have no objection to sending their 8 or 9 year old children out into the wilds amongst all these Pokemon, which either form from the souls of dead children or just kill children.
It's a
I
Nintendo.
have
How many
many
people do you? What do you think the body count is like in a Nintendo game?
I don't know.
Like,
But
I'm gonna throw you a hint and say the answer is probably less than 0. It's a Nintendo game.
yeah, frustratingly, most of the Pokemon indexes, like for Pokemon and like the games, are like, oh, this is the soul of a dead child who is being captured in a balloon. Wait, what?
I'm starting to
What?
think you've got something against Nintendo. Yeah.
No, no, I don't have
Like
anything against.
you're trying to bring all of this real world logic and cynicism against the Mushroom Kingdom, against Pokemon, like, and yeah, Azeroth and Battletech somehow end up on this list.
To be honest, I was really kind of struggling with some of the words without, like, see, that's a pause on the list. But no, Pokemon kind of gets me as being really kind of a creepy world. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's funny things there, like, oh, I can't get to work this morning because of the group of Psyducks sitting in the middle of the road, and if they have a headache,
But look at
we're in real trouble.
Sylvia. Hello. Hi,
Hello.
Keith.
Right.
Why do you hate me? Hmm. I'm sad.
I'm almost tempted to look up that Pokemon you're holding's Pokemon Index.
You don't know my name.
But his name was Solario.
Nope. I mean, if you want to go down that road, I mean,
It's literally canon, right? That all of these Pokemon like souls of their children, or that they kill.
okay. Do you know what else is canon in the Old
Yeah.
Republic? The cannons that were fired at people during the 28-year-long Galactic War by the bad guys. I mean, we're in Old Republic versus Pokemon World territory here anyway, so like you saw those amazing cinematics, when we thought the Old Republic might be alright, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't focus on Jedi going around different worlds handing ice creams to children.
No, they didn't. Yes, there's like death and destruction in like the galaxy. I repeat, the galaxy of the Old Republic. But
It was called the Great Galactic War. I'm not sure it was. I'm not sure it was a minor skirmish in some unknown.
No,
star system.
and I totally get where you're coming from, and I totally get that the Old Republic should be at number 3. But I'm just worried about this general layer of society in Pokemon, which allows this horror and madness to go on.
Keep talking a sec.
Okay. I mean, like all of the ghost Pokemon are like dead children come back to haunt you. I mean, I'm pretty
Dead
sure
children. Jesus Christ! Right, where's Patrick? I need to get Patrick in on this call. Get him, Patrick! I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna send it to you, and you can tell him why he's wrong.
Pikachu and that I'm sure is fine. But
oh man, I was trying to look up the Pokemon entry for Sylveon, and prove that Sylveon is cool.
Yeah.
But do you know how long those things are?
I'm looking at one now for Pikachu, so yeah.
Souls of dead children, but the Cataclysm wasn't all that bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gets Azeroth into the top 5. Can't even fucking. Oh shit. That's how you spell pub. It's right there. The Old Republic. Yeah. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing you can find on Pikachu is that he electrocutes anything new it finds.
I mean, he's the soul of a dead child, right? So clearly he's the worst thing ever.
No, not all of them are soul of dead children. Some of them are children.
I am going to rewind this when I'm finished. They're the souls. I'm sure you didn't say some of them were the souls of dead children.
No.
Aren't you? In your Nintendo hating ways. Well, we're down to two. Stardew Valley and High School. For the top two.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that we should probably put Monster Prompt High School in at number 2, and use any of the streamed footage that we've still got in archive as proof as to why it probably isn't the safest, most wonderful world. And I mean, one of the options when you go to hang outside of school is to. What happens is you end up ripping the funny bone out of a clown and eating it. So,
still better than Pokemon World. Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to be in high school in Monster Prom because you just get to see all of these crazy shenanigans.
Yeah,
hopefully from a safe distance.
Yeah, some of them are a bit weird, like the sex laser.
Yeah, and occasionally you get caught up in these shenanigans.
Yeah.
Through no fault of your own.
Yeah. It's for precisely that amount of like crazy wackiness, like the interdimensional bachelor just pops in and suddenly you're on a game show and may end up being married to life for this idiot. That's the kind of reason of it. And I'm not going to put it as the like number one word I'd want to live in, but it is funny and generally not life-threatening.
I don't know if anything's life-threatening because it feels like everybody's always fine by the end. Somehow, like no matter what.
Although due to certain options, you kind of spent an eternity getting back from some hellish dimension, and everyone will certainly remember the torture they endured there. Pretty much the words that came back after I opened my mouth and bees came out.
I mean, you open your mouth and bees came out. I'm just saying, like, if you were in this world, living in this world, that like would have been something that happened to you. That would have been something you did to everybody else.
Yeah. Did anyone get forced into a marriage with some interdimensional prince? No. And you're welcome.
Bees. Bees. Why the bees?
Yeah. I was thinking on my feet.
Bees, sex lasers, like Keith unleashes it all. Keith's never trying to get a date to the prom. Keith's just trying to warp and bend the nature of reality so that it is no longer resembles whatever it was supposed to resemble in the first place.
I'm just trying to make you laugh.
And I love it. Expect to see more of it on in between E3 streams, probably. Because, gotta do something, right?
Yeah.
Although if you take out all of the game titles, right, from this list,
yeah,
and you just have the locations. One, I can't believe neither of us picked Star Trek, and two, like just high school, like game worlds you'd want to live in, and number 2 is high school, like.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, you give that to someone out of context. Like, the second best place in all of video games that I would want to live is high school. It's a very specific high school, but still.
Yeah.
Monster High, it's called, isn't it? Which sounds worse. Like, out of context.
But, like, they've got, like, a ghost and vampire who's, like, a couple of 100 years old. Yeah, for some reason is in high school.
Don't bring your logic making to Monster Prom. Monster Prom 2 is coming out. They did a Kickstarter for it. I can't wait. It's like I think it's like a summer vacation type thing. Anyway, that leaves us with Stardew Valley. Which, I mean, I kind of did live in this world for a while. When it first came out, I didn't play it. Everybody started raving about it, and I was busy. And I was like, I've got it, I bought it, I'll pick it up, and I'll play it. for like a weekend. I had a 4-day weekend. And I was like, I'll play it, I'll review it, it'll be fun. I'll play it for like a few hours, get to grips with it. Probably a bit longer because like games like that tend to take a bit longer to get to grips with. So I thought maybe it's like 5-6 hours I'd need to play it. So I sat down on the Friday night, booted Stardew Valley up. 14 hours later, I put the game down and thought, I need to go to bed. It's Saturday. And that's like, so when it's like, I kind of lived there. Yeah, I kind of did. Like, it, and it was, I mean, most of it, I'm not going to lie, was how the game works in terms of setting objectives for yourself. Because you don't have like a quest log. You kind of do, but you don't, it's not like an RPG where you have a quest log and you're like, I'll go and do this quest and I'll go and do the side quest here and then do that. It's literally like, okay, so I'm growing carrots. So I need to make sure that I'm watering these carrots every couple of days, and then I'm doing this, and then okay, I need to go and get this wood. So I need to go and find some wood so I can get this thing built and do that. And like, because it's constantly ticking over on your brain all the things that you need to do, you just keep going. You just wake up the next day and you go, okay, this is what I need to do to accomplish this day. And then you go to bed and you think, okay, maybe I'll stop playing then. Oh, but right after I just go and do this and that and do that, and then it's Saturday morning. But it's such a great world. It's so relaxing. Like, a place in general. Like, it's one of those places that's out of the way. No one really ever goes there. You don't really get cell phone reception. So, Twitter isn't really a great big thing. I mean, there's weird aliens that live in the community centre, but all they want you to do is rebuild the town, so... I mean, as far as, like, alien scenarios go, it could be a lot worse. And as I said earlier, there's monsters, but they're in the mine. So if you don't go in the mine, you're fine. You never have to worry about your life. And all the people are awesome. And they all have their own schedules. So I found out when I went to go and buy my chicken coop that I'd been saving up for a month. And then I was like, what do you mean the store's closed? And then I found out she was at yoga with all the other yoga people. She wouldn't sell me a chicken coop that day. And then I went fishing. Because I was like, well, fuck it. It's a free day, right? Go fishing. I don't like fishing minigames. And Stardew Valley's no exception. What I'm trying to tell you is, I would sure as shit live in Stardew Valley. No, Twitter, innit? Anything to add?
Nope.
So here it is. The top 5 gaming worlds we'd want to live in. Also known as the top 5 reasons democracy might have been a mistake. At number 5. At number 5, we have Azeroth. At number 4, we have Pokemon World. At number 3, we have the Old Republic. At number 2, we have High School, also known as Monster High, also known as Monster Prom. And at number 1, we have Stardew Valley. Once again, do not take this list too seriously, because we certainly didn't. As you can probably tell. People sometimes think, when we're doing these videos, that we're legitimately, like, on the verge of having a falling out. Like, when I go full tilt, and I'm sure Keith's the same when we're doing these videos, when I go full tilt into an argument, like Pokemon World versus the Old Republic, I'm not invested in the outcome. I'm just putting on a show. Like, I'm never actually going to stab Keith with a screwdriver. For this. Like, just want to reassure people that this is all in good fun. Nod or something. Otherwise, I'm going to start worrying that it's not all in good fun. Oh, damn you. Sylveon is disappointed.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. I got a great quote out of you that I'm going to use for the rest of time. As far as World of Warcraft goes, that's going to do it for this video. The next video me and Keith are going to be in is going to be the next podcast. And then it's E3. That came around. Anyway.
Yeah.
You're slowly getting lower and lower in your camera position, so I think now is a perfect time to say bye, Keith.